What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Justinhawksmith channel. In today's video, we're going to be finishing or almost finishing the teardown on the 2021 Ram Megacab. So this used to be one of the LG&D giveaway trucks, and then a customer of mine, buddy of mine, bought it from a dealership where it was traded in, and now we're rebuilding it here on the YouTube channel again. We've already rebuilt it once. Whenever we got it, we pulled the wrap off of it and done a different powder coat color and changed some things around, added some really good rock lights from DBA lighting and some wheel lights as well. And now we are currently, also the motor got built to like right around 800 horsepower. So it's pretty rowdy now. And we've got a lot of work to do to it. We've got to repaint the grille, fix the headlight, it got busted. And then we've got the front bumper off. We're gonna do some touch-ups kind of all the way around the truck. And we're putting a huge 12-inch Papis garage lift kit on it, which is right here. And this thing is going to be one of a kind for sure. We've got a blue cradle with orange faceplates for one side, and then an orange cradle with blue faceplates. Maybe I just now said that backwards, but anyway, it's flip-flopped. So one side of the truck will have blue 4-link arms with orange faceplates. One side of the truck will have orange 4-link arms with blue faceplates. And then like kind of the other bracketry and stuff is just kind of mixed matched. But right now I've got, this is actually my brother-in-law, guys. I can't remember if you've met him in some of the YouTube videos before or not, but he's disconnecting some of the ABS lines and the brake lines right now. And then we'll go ahead and hang those calipers up. The calipers aren't getting like rebuilt or powder coated or anything, so they'll be able to just get hung up. And then we've got some coilover conversion brackets that are going to go inside the bucket right there for the coilover conversion, and then down on the axle as well. I think they might be made into the axle truss, which we still have to run over to single shot powder coat and pick up. We've got pretty much all the suspension removed except for the 4-link arms in the front and then the 4-link arms in the rear. So right now it does have a flight fab 4-link. And you will be able to message me on Instagram if you're interested in purchasing this. It will come with the flight fab steering stabilizer, track bar front and rear, 4-link arms front and rear, Fox resi shocks in the front with the billet clamp. I think the only thing that it's missing is like 2 bolts on the steering stabilizer right there. These like little Allen head bolts. So you'll be able to go pick some of those up. But yeah, so if you're wanting to purchase this, it's all nasty and dirty right now. But you can have it all sandblasted and repowder coated. Hit me up on Instagram if you're interested. So we will be getting rid of that stuff. It was roughly around a 3.5-inch lift, maybe 4, and it's set really good. So, and we'll work out a deal, get that shipped out to you. We're gonna go ahead and remove the calipers in the front. Is pretty much all we like is calipers and 4-link arms. So we're gonna go ahead and jack the axles up off of the jack stands, lower the jack stands down as low as they go, and then we will disconnect the calipers, drop the axle down as low as it goes, and then disconnect the 4-link arms. Pretty much on this, you want a jack stand on each side of the axle, and then one of them on your, like where your front drive shaft connects to hold the pinion angle so your axle doesn't rotate and fall off of the jack stand. So you'll need 3 jack stands total. So pretty much you'll want a jack stand on the pumpkin right here, and then you'll want 1 on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack this axle up while it's still connected to the 4-link arms, put 3 jacks under there in the correct locations, and then remove the calipers, lower it down, and remove the 4-link arms. Also, in the rear, we already have the track bar removed, sway bar removed. We just have shocks and 4-link arms, and then of course your drive shaft holds it. So we'll go ahead and jack this up, put it down on jack stands, disconnect the brake lines and whatnot as well. And then we'll be ready to remove the 4-link arms in the rear. And then it's pretty much time to disassemble like a few small things. I think we have to take off like the bump stops and these brackets that are already broke. This is from the air ride or whatever. Horrible design by Dodge right here. This breaks if you just like drive the truck. But yeah, then it'll be time to remove like the center cross member, which is under here, that big thing. So that will get removed. Got some bolts right in there to get that removed. And then we will be replacing that with the big Papis garage cradle and cross member as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this stuff removed. A little less talking, a little more working. Let's go.
got the 4-link brackets and arms pulled off the truck now. It was just 2 1/8" bolts on each side where the 4-link was placed from the factory. And see, now our 4-link arms will be mounted right here in the dead center of the truck on the big cradle. And we're about to actually set this onto the ground. So on these, the rotors are bigger than the dust shield, so it's actually gonna sit just straight down onto the rotors. We're gonna go ahead and put 1 lug nut, and then since we'll have 1 lug nut on each wheel, that'll hold the rotors in place. And then these will literally just sit straight down onto the ground, because they're gonna have to be that far away from the truck in order to put like the coilover conversion brackets and everything onto the axles and literally fit the coilovers in there. We're going to get those axles way down to the ground because this thing's coming up 12 inches. Okay, so we've got the axle down completely on the ground. I'll show that to you. So just put a little 4x4 underneath the tie rod bar, and then it's got a jack underneath the pinion. I'll soon replace that actual jack with something else, a little jack stand or something. So then we can use that jack for the rear end. Currently pulling the fender liners out of the rear. So then we can remove the shocks and 4-link arms and drop that rear axle as well. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the drive shaft. I need to reach out to Papis and see what's going to happen with the drive shaft. I really don't know if this truck got a different drive shaft whenever it got transmission swapped, because it has a Duramax transmission in it. So we'll just kind of go from there. Right here, this is really nice. Anytime that you install rock lights, use those plugs right there, because anytime that you remove your fender liners, it makes it super nice and easy. And then we've also still got the track bar bracket. I think that gets replaced as well. But that's just 4 bolts, I believe, maybe 3. But yeah, so chugging right along. We'll pick up here in a second and we get some more work done.
All right, guys, so a stem shock can be really annoying at times. So sometimes you have to break out a good old nut buster, okay? So let me show you what we're working with here. Right here is the said heavy duty nut buster. So sometimes you just have to just die hard and nut bust it. Okay, anyway. So there's an Allen head in the top of this stud. Whoever put these rear shocks on, I promise it was not me. I think it might have been the shop maybe that this was at, because they done like a rear spring conversion. And to drop it out with this 4-link and stuff, you have to take the rear shocks out. So whenever they put these back on, they must have took the bed off and put an impact gun to it. So they must have took the bed off and put an impact gun to it or something, because it literally, so you put an Allen head in the top of the stem, and then that will keep it from spinning, unless you get it so tight that the Allen head either rounds off or it gets rusted down in there. So both sides completely rusted and split the actual shock. So like the actual stud is split up there. So the lift kit won't come with rear shocks, but it's not the end of the world. So you just put your old nut buster on there, and then this, I've never used one of these actually before, but just went and picked this thing up. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we're working with. I guess that it was a 19, and it is. So you could spank the old Ugga Dugga to it and nut bust it while you spank it. Or this just gets worse. I'm just gonna quit talking and show you guys. Dude, I think it just busted a nut. It just busted a nut. What a legend. So now will it spin? Does a busted nut spin? Or do we have to use like some adjustables? I guess you do have to upsize. I'm done, dude. Okay, we're gonna take these rear shocks off. Dawson. I'm gonna sue. Okay, and that's gonna be the end of episode 2, the teardown. We've got the axles on the ground now, front and rear. So they'll be ready to get sanded down and painted, and then figure out like the track bar brackets, axle trusses. We'll have to go over single shot powder coating and pick up the axle trusses. So that should take care of that. So I'm super excited to go ahead and get those axle trusses put on there after we paint the axles, because then we just have to put the coilover conversion brackets inside of these factory buckets. I'm gonna go ahead and be reaching out to Manny and figure out, I'm sure that these kind of like cups right here will have to be cut out, and then probably just get some holes drilled up in there, similar to like the PMF stuff and striker and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and get those brackets up. The 4-link arms all just have heim joints on both sides, so that should be really easy to adjust and actually align the truck. That is one thing that I'm pretty excited about. At least in the rear, the front does have like the clasp. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the front will mount to the axle like this, and then your rear arms, actually, they'll be super easily adjustable because they have a heim joint on this end and they have a heim joint on that end. So you won't have to actually remove the 4-link arm to adjust everything. And I do believe that they're symmetrical, so like you'll put them on, they have face plates on both sides, so you'll be able to just literally turn those like on the truck and set the alignment perfect. So that'll be really cool. These you still you know, we'll have to drop the heim joint in the back and adjust those, but we'll try to get some hole to hole measurements for 12 inches lift from Papis, because he has the like the 3D Dodge software or whatever, so he should be able to tell us what to set all of the 4-link arms to, and then of course every truck's a little bit different, so we can dial it in from there. But Manny should be able to give us a good starting point. I'll go ahead and get the pitman arm and the drag link removed and get that transmission or frame cross member removed. And then next video, we're gonna be bolting up these big cradles right here. So that'll be really cool. And then we'll have to get the sway bar, big fabricated sway bar, bolted up as well. So with that being said, that's gonna be all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and get down there and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next episode where we start installing and drilling holes in the frame and really start to see this truck come together in the next video. That's the plan. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Always remember, everybody starts out as nobody. Peace. Just die hard and nut bust.